Good afternoon, Bay Nation. Welcome to another episode of Fantasy Bay. I'm your host, Mike Williams, and here's my co-host, Jeffrey.
Good afternoon, Bay Nation.
Today we will be going over the Week 10 game preview, Thursday night game with the Colts against the Titans. We're going to start off with the Titans because they're the home team. Jeffrey, are there any injuries that we need to know about for this one?
No, sir, there are no notable injuries on the Titans side of the ball.
Excellent. Moving forward, starting at the top with the quarterback position, Ryan Tannehill has been mediocre the last 3 weeks, finishing 16th, 13th, and 21st. Now, this is not a great matchup for them. The Colts are an excellent defense. So I'm going to be fading him a little bit. I have him right outside of a starter, somewhere around 15. I do not think that this is going to be an upside play for him, but he has been getting 2 touchdowns a game for a while now, and he does a little bit with his legs. So I do think that he could have a fine game, but I'm not itching to start him. Next, we have the wide receiver position. And of course, you're going to start A.J. Brown, so let's just move that to the side. Even though the Colts are good against the wide receiver as well, you're starting A.J. Brown because he's a beast, scoring touchdowns left and right. Next, we have Corey Davis, and I know a lot of you were burned last week with Corey Davis in your lineup, getting a 0. Oh, that's awful, but I don't think it's getting much better this game. I don't think that he's going to be bad long term, but these are 2 back-to-back bad games for him, so I'm not trying to get him in my lineup if I don't have to. Moving on to the running back position, Derrick Henry. He's an absolute beast. You start him every week. It doesn't matter who he's going against, so I'm not even going to talk about it, but you do have to fade him a little bit because of the Colts, but he's still a no-brainer start. Next, we have the tight end position, and Jonnu Smith has not been playing very well these last few weeks. Now, he saved his game last week with a late touchdown, but if he didn't have that, he was not going to be producing any fantasy value for you. That being said, tight end landscape is pretty terrible, so you might have to start him, but I have him as a low-end starter as a tight end. Next, we have the defense, and I think you can start the defense against the Colts in this one. Yes, Phillip Rivers has been playing pretty solid the last few games, but I do think that you can start the Titans defense. Next, we have the kicker, and I'm not really trying to start the kicker in this matchup. This should be a low-scoring game. That being said, low-scoring games do tend to get some kicks in. All right, moving on to the Colts. Starting at the top, Jeffrey, are there any injuries we need to know about for the Colts in this one?
Yes, sir. Wide receiver T.Y. Hilton was removed from the Week 10 injury report, and, at the tight end position, Jack Doyle is out with a concussion.
So it looks like T.Y. Hilton should get some play in this game. I still don't think you're really going to start him. He has not been performing so far this year, unfortunately, so I'm really not trying to get him in my starting lineup, but it is good to know that he's available. I don't want to actually start any wide receiver from the Colts. The Colts have not been playing very well from the wide receiver standpoint, at least not enough to get into my fantasy lineups. Next, we're going on to the running back position. This is where it gets a little interesting. So, Jonathan Taylor is the presumed starter for this team. That being said, he's been splitting a little more with Jordan Wilkins and Nyheim Hines, who seems to be getting involved. Jonathan Taylor fumbled last week, and it seems like he's just getting put to the bench when he gets fumbled. He had a fumbling issue in college, and it seems like it's being carried over to the NFL. I'm not saying you should bench him. I still have him as a running back too, but I also have Jordan Wilkins as a low-end flex play, because if Jonathan Taylor ends up fumbling the ball or not playing very well, I think that they will involve Jordan Wilkins and they'll involve Nyheim Hines. So I'm not too excited about Jonathan Taylor, but he has a good schedule coming up soon, so hopefully he can bounce back. Next, we're moving on to the tight end position, and I'm not really trying to start any of these tight ends. They're basically a 3-headed monster at this point, and I'm not really trying to mess with that on the tight end position. You don't know who's going to get it this week, so I'm moving on past them. Going to the defense, you can definitely start the Colts defense. They've been playing fantastic. Going to the kicker, I definitely think you can start the kicker because he is playing great. Getting a lot of kicks up. All right, I think that's going to do it for this one. Time to pick this game. Jeffrey, what's the spread for this one?
The spread is -2.5 Titans.
This is a tough one. 2.5 point spread. It should be pretty low scoring. I think the Titans take this one. I think this is a close matchup, and the Titans should have a solid chance of winning this one. They're at home, so I give them the advantage. But don't forget, any players playing in Thursday night games, move them to the running back or wide receiver slot. You do not want to leave them in your flex. Trust me, you want versatility as much as you can. All right, I think that's going to do it for this one. Good luck this week. Peace.